You are watching Xirtus.
So no crypto tips though, because I got a few. See, that's the thing is I do this all the time. I
I
walk into the
think
bar and he goes,
Chainlink is really going to be. There's a future in Chainlink in terms of actual practicality. I'm not talking about like things to buy. I'm just saying like obviously if you think like Bitcoin's always the thing to buy, but in terms of Chainlink or Tron or things like that, if you're looking for something that actually has some sort of a practical use, that's always cool. But I'm very interested.
we
Let's
also
just all
need to,
call this the crypto section of the show.
and
Like,
we're
tell
not.
us
This
what's
is not financial advice. This is gambling,
you should
straight
buy
up.
baseball cards. No, I don't. Yeah,
Right.
don't buy baseball cards unless they're from
Well,
like
apparently
AliExpress
pretending
and
to give
fake.
financial advice or like even implying. But so if you guys would like, I could read out the name of like I have a friend who 24/7 is listening to crypto podcasts, and every like 6 to 8 weeks he tells me when there's a dip, and usually within 24 to 48 hours everything goes up 8 to 10%. And sometimes I listen to him, and sometimes I don't.
Ooh, buy Burka coin. Is that a thing? All right. Sorry. What? I think I met your friend actually. And go
Yeah, you
ahead. Tell
did.
us.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Tell us what your friend has told you about crypto.
Well, again, I know that I'm not looking into it. I'm not trying to get on an accelerated course. But every time that I've heard him say a crypto token name, Cardano, or we get some fucking Sui, it's like I can hear him saying it again and again. And then when I'm going back and just looking at the charts and just trying to say, if I had bought this, well, it just keeping an eye on the market.
If you had spent
Going,
more money
geez,
on crypto than on
he
Temu,
doesn't miss though. He doesn't miss. And he's
well,
not
you
there
just have a
telling you
bug.
that.
I'm sorry, but didn't you just say that anytime he tells you to get something or there's going to be a dip, then the prices are rising? Or did I get that wrong?
Oh, no. So he said there is a dip now. And usually people are calling him going, dude, you said if it went down 20% right away, don't worry, just wait 6 months. And it recovered, but now it's going down 10% again. And he goes, yeah, double down. And then again, people are they get scared, and they didn't get financial coaching the same way some people did. If you had a trust fund and when you were 18, you were managing it yourself. Again, I didn't have that, but a lot of people did, and it's called financial literacy. And my version of
A lot of
financial
people
literacy was
did.
understanding how many more credit cards I had that I could max out
About
and get a cash
1% of the
advance on,
population did,
so that I
Raf.
could buy some weed with cash, because you can't buy weed with a credit card, especially when it was like not legal. And like I was always kind of leveraging the
Unless
future
it's like
against the present.
through an Amazon store where they've overpriced an item that's actually.
So, did you go through your list yet?
Well, the answer is like, there's a subscription hotline. It's like a gambling thing. No, I'm just kidding. But so there's something called, and I cannot vouch for it. All I'm saying is that the last 20 times he pointed out a coin and said, no, you should buy that one. Again, you don't have to. So there's Jasmy, Jasmy. There's something called
We're just
Brett,
celebrating Josh Riss.
Brett. There's something called
Momo. Read them all again. We're gonna go to the Coin Market Cap, and you can. Now that we have a new membership, I just want to celebrate. Go ahead. Okay, so tell me again. Momo, Burka. What were they again?
Please insert coin. So Andreas shows the screen.
No. I'm just pulling up the my search history here. And I wrote them down on the back of an envelope. And like I said, we've got a couple back of the envelope calculations to do where, again, the number might be wrong, but the goal is to try to figure out why.
Yeah, Link and Ada. I think Cardano, as you said, Cardano. How do you do it with the Boston?
In Boston, it's Cardano.
Cardano, yeah, whatever.
It's like
80, Ada. Get your.
Cardano.
Did you invest in crypto before, Stefan?
So no, I never even, like, I was at companies that would match my 401k and retirement. And I just go, like, retirement? Are you kidding? It's called like an engagement ring, and then a wedding ring, and then the wedding, and then a honeymoon, and then a down payment on a house. Like, who's fucking kidding who? I could put any amount of money anywhere. And like, it's not going to retirement yet. Like, thankfully I have a chance to like fail at 3 more careers maybe before I really give up on the whole money thing, or like, but. So let me see if I go to market and then search in recent history.
While you're looking, I have 2 things to share.
There's something called, again, these are real short. I have nothing to say about them.
Okay, go on, please.
No. Well, it's just called Bonk and Flog, FOWG, and that's all I have to say about that. Sorry, go ahead.
Honestly, sounds like meme coins, but maybe worth checking out.
And they are, but he never misses, bro. So, and like,
oh my. Okay, so just let everyone know.
Well, there is that.
What you have to do is you have to go to you have to click between 1 day, 7 day, 1 month, 1 year, 5 years, and then all. And you have to look at the trends.
I'm looking.
And again, it is all a bunch of nonsense.
What was the other one besides bonk? You said bonk
Flog,
and then
FOWG.
flog. Your bonk and flog sound like two masturbatory. Flog like this.
These are penny stocks, and these ones that were circulating between
Which
anywhere
flog?
between
There's
$3 and
flogs here.
$30, and then FWOG, sir.
Here we got $1. Thank you.
And I guess what Mr. X? No, Mr. X was my father. You must call me Andreas.
Indeed. So, sorry, Raphael, you were about to say.
Yeah, so I'll just say general PSA. Number 1, don't invest any money you can't afford to lose. Number 2, as simple as it sounds, buy low, sell high if you can. Number 3, these coins we're showing on screen right now, they're literally meme coins. They do not even claim or could hope to have any real world applicability. There's a different class of tokens that might have, or at the very least, they have a lot more usage and they're involved in some projects. For example, Theta should help with decentralized video streaming. There's a few other coins that should, and some even already do, serve some type of real world function. Most coins are simply maybe a means of exchange or maybe a store of value for some, if you do believe in a distributed accounting that is enabled by the blockchain. And other than that, there's only 2 things to say. Number 1, don't trust Andrew Tate and his crypto advice. He recently got exposed because someone could find his transaction on decentralized exchange and showed that a mere 36% of his overall trades were ever profitable, at least through that account. And he's always going around telling everyone how amazing he is. And then one other practical thing I can share from Austria, more or less. There is an Austrian crypto exchange called Bitpanda. And they, many years ago, had their own internal coin called BEST. And funnily enough, I had just a few dollars of that coin. I thought, well, why not have it? Because it would reduce your crypto fees, or you could pay your exchange fees with that coin. The exchange, by the way, is not particularly cheap or anything. But, well, anyways. And I hear myself.
Okay, I'm just getting a pencil to write down notes so that I'm not interrupting.
And that coin was used internally for Bitpanda, and then Bitpanda actually grew a lot. And this was actually, in the very small portfolio that I held at that time, the very best performing coin, going up like 500%, which I would never have expected. But this is probably because the exchange itself kind of got pretty big. And just now, very recently, they migrated to a new coin, which they're also using internally. And again, this is no advice or anything. I'm just informing everyone. And that coin is called Vision Token, with the moniker or the abbreviation VSN, supposedly also involving some other projects. And it is also, again, now the internal Bitpanda token you can use to reduce your fees within the system. I honestly didn't check on the back end, but I was just like, well, if the company itself is going to continue to perform well, that coin may also perform well or have growing usage in the future.
I would say, in order to respond to what you just presented, because what you did was you offered something into the middle of the space, and you said you said there's 2 reasons for that you shouldn't, or you should be cautious of this, and then you laid out 2 arguments. And so what we could do is evaluate each one of those things that you said, and whether or not there's anything any of us can come up with that would, as a devil's advocate, not to be contrarian or antagonistic, but again, you put something on the middle of the table, we're going to shake it, see if it sticks, and then we're going to kind of reprocess. So you said there are 2 reasons you wouldn't trust cryptocurrency, and one, the premise is that it has no real world value. And then you said, and again, maybe we could wind it back or ask chat to help. The first one, do you recall?
Bonk, flog.
No, it's not the name. Because so what happened here? It's almost like the color of law, and I'm not accusing Rafa. I do this all the time.
What color is law?
We're taught to bullshit in order to attempt to like try on a pair of clothes to see if it fits. So what you're doing is you use a structure of logic, and the people that were kind of listening and trying to keep. So you sounded very sure of what you were saying, and you said there's 2 reasons why you don't, and each one was kind of lengthy enough for you. But you did the weave, and then at the end, though, you kind of recommended some of them because you might get a discount on fees or something. And like fees are something that burn me because
There's
I'm
really
tracking,
practical.
I'm
There's
tracking
certain
the
kinds
numbers
of coins that are more practical to use. For instance,
in different
Chainlink
exchanges.
could replace Stripe, right? So most people are using Stripe payment for Steam. You know, at this point, they're using credit card payments, etc. And you can replace the entire MasterCard Visa system, or you even connect with a MasterCard Visa system to purchase directly through, you know, e-commerce, WooCommerce stores using Link. So that's a practical use for a coin. The same way Bitcoin was useful for purchasing weapons, drugs, and human trafficking. Now that Bitcoin is useful for everything else, but it started out as something that could compete in a market that was limited. You were talking about how you can't use a credit card like a Visa card to buy marijuana.
Who said that? Who said that?
You couldn't use cannabis
in Ohio, especially at the time. What's
I think it's true in most
Massachusetts,
places, right? Because
right?
credit card
So
companies are weird about it.
Massachusetts is about. We were talking about loopholes, and what Massachusetts does is it identifies them, and then it tries to jump through them, or at least that's like somewhat. So there is one dispensary that's part of a chain, and so it's not the only one, but out in Western Mass, there's a place where you can buy weed, but you can go and buy an ounce with their credit card, right? And they announce it and they advertise it in the journals and they talk about it online. And they said, you know, it says it's against the rules, but we have a team of lawyers and we're happy to stand behind the decisions we're making with our products. Thanks. And in the meantime, like, this is a civil matter. So, like, we'll see you in court. And in the meantime, they're selling weed with the credit card and everyone else is going, no, but they just said, like, I need to jump it a little higher. And so they say jump it. And I say, how high? And then they don't hurt me anymore, you know? But like weed is legal.
There are issues with credit card companies directly. If a credit card company decides, for instance, that you're going to buy a game that has adult content in it, like Wicked Island or something like that, not just to name a specific game that's really interesting, but you know, you might get your credit card stuck, or they're going to use credit cards as a way of verifying your age, right? Like, and not everyone over. There are kids, by the way, with their parents' credit cards.
No, but what's going to happen?
Their parents'
there's
going to
be it's called a class action lawsuit, and because of the medical misinformation about THCA, imagine if you got a refund for every dollar you ever spent at any dispensary that had sold you THCA weed under the premise that when you smoke it, it becomes medicinally and bioavailable. And it's not the dispensary paying. There's some sort of grant to, again, the industry is collapsing in a lot of places for a lot of reasons. And we're now talking about THCA. And again, we're not doing the weave now. We're doing the give our audience ADD along with us. But so this is for the sake of, like, again, if I were trying to run this like a business meeting, I would have a Prezi up, and every time we would be zooming in and out of the topics. And I want to revisit.
People are still using that. You know, I worked for them for half a year. By the way,
I think that. But even if people aren't using it, I think that would be the most effective tool that I could use to try to help people control and telescope in and out of subjects, and not feel like you're losing detail or skipping over things. It's that you're going to revisit that, and then everyone's going to get time to speak. What you said might have been the most valid thing about crypto the whole time. And what we would do is try to pick it apart from every single angle. And at the end, none of us have anything invested in it. What we would do is try to look things up. And at the end, it's like, no, Rafa was exactly right. See, now everyone in the audience agrees with us because they went through the logic in real time research. You know, that could be and we're going on. And it's like, look, if Andreas himself, or, you know, I admit I don't know jack shit about most computer stuff. Like, you could interview all types of people. And if your conjecture is that it doesn't have any real world value, and someone says that it does, and now it's about why and what is real world value. And now, again, you're going to philosophy and debate, and you're no longer engaging in a pissing contest about who's making the other person, who's getting a dig in, and who does the audience end up agreeing with. No, it all ends up on the paper, and then you keep shaking it. And even if at the end, again, it's like the scribe has some sort of like intellectual honesty, or otherwise, again, this is like a geometric or a trigonometric proof. Eventually, you say that a square equals a triangle, and you've used a bunch of corollaries and proofs and references that those are all valid individually, but you have to find the place where there's a mistake somehow. It's not that you added an 8 and a 5 and came up with.
So I get what you're saying, and I agree with you. I think, though, it is time for another breathing exercise. Yeah, let's do another.
Our musical interlude. Yeah, there we go.
Sometimes I look at the moon and just think, the skin's beautiful. Baby, when I met you, there was peace unknown.
Brukar säga energi,